And if this is your first time here, it is so nice to meet you. My name is Peggy, and welcome to my studio. And if you wouldn't mind, just take a second and click on that red subscribe button. Go ahead, it's easy. Just you will become a craftaholic, and when the bell appears, if you click on all in the drop-down menu, YouTube should notify you every time I upload a video. And if everybody could just smash that like button, it really does help my channel and videos get noticed by other crafters like yourself. And then we can add to our family of craftaholics. Okay, to the task at hand. No, we're not having cooking class. This box is what I'm going to be using to make the base of my ephemera book that we're going to start today. And it doesn't matter if you have this type of box or not. We're just going to start with something. Let me turn it over. It's a little bit easier to look at. There we go. Just something, on a smaller size. This is like 5 by 8 for the panel. And then it's got like a 1 3/4 inch spine to it. So we'll be trimming that down in a minute, but paper-wise, and I think this is from Spring Market from Cartabella, I think. This is going to be my cover, this gorgeous, gorgeous floral, and this peachy tone is going to be my spine. And to mat the inside of my book, this is a digital paper from Genevieve Designs from her Shades of Color. Okay, but you don't need to have these exact things. It's whatever you like, whatever matches your craft room or your style or whatever. Okay, and today I think we're probably just going to get the cover maybe to the fins, the binding system. I'm not sure though. But first, let's cut this bad boy down. Okay, let me get out my trimmer. Whoop, wrong way. If I was over there, it'd be great. Okay. I'm not bringing it all the way up because I really don't need to. I'm not measuring anything. First, and okay, side note, anytime you use a box for something, onion soup mix, something like this, crackers, cereal, break them down like we're just about to do. You can save some of the other pieces for backing on other things, which is awesome. Not the little pieces. And again, all I've done here is I've opened up the top and the bottom, and I've opened up the side. But the bigger pieces, some of the better pieces you can keep for backings. But all we're going to do, let me put my reader eyes on here, okay, is I am just going to cut off all of these side pieces. Do my ends first. And like I said, take, any box that you have, and just prep them and keep them somewhere where they're handy, but that so when we do things like this, or if you decide to try to make a project on your, come up with a project on your own, you'll have them handy. Okay, and last are these ends here. Like I said, it's pieces like these little ones here, and like these good ends that I hold on to, because you never know if you need to back something up, and they're perfect for that. Especially making like some clusters of like ephemera pieces to go in the front of an album or something like that. They're perfect. Okay, now, well, you know what? It's good enough. It's going to be covered. And even though, it's kind of crushed a little bit, it doesn't matter. It's all going to work out fine. Okay, let me put these aside. Hold on to those. Okay. Let me move this out of the way for now. Okay, I did have 2 pieces pulled because I was going to, of the paper, I was going to try and do a bigger book, but I think I like the smaller size better. Okay. Well, I'm going to still have to put 2 pieces together because if that was printed, it would be fine, but no. All right, I'm going to have to attach 2 pieces, and I'm going to cut while I have them here. Oh, whoop, sorry about that. Those are the caps for my glue. Okay. Just while Let me get all these, just do all at one time. And these strips, even though they're just white, they're actually good to keep. You can stamp sentiments on them and things, and they're perfect for that. So instead of wasting like a brand new sheet of paper or something, just hold on to things like this. Even when you're cutting down white paper and you have scraps, like thin scraps, hold on to them. You never know where you can use things. Okay. And if you have a husband like mine that sometimes rolls his eyes when you say things like that, just don't tell them. They don't need to know. They don't understand crafting, you know. Anyway, but I do love my husband. I don't mean to make it sound like I don't. Okay. I'm not going to try to match this up, the pattern, because I don't really think that I can. It kind of goes that way. And it's going to be covered by the spine anyway. So what I'm going to do, that's the top. That's where I cut the strip off of. Do I like it that way? Or do I like it this way? They're kind of all going in different directions, so it doesn't, but you know, I like it this way. I'm going to put mine on the side. Okay, I am going to take, though, a roll of tape. Let's see. I'm going to use an inch wide tape to put the two pieces together, just for a little more adhesion, I guess. Let me turn it this way, easier to reach. So I am just going to, normally I would use just maybe like a 1/2 inch, but since it's kind of a, well, it's not really a narrow spine, but I just like a little more stability given by the center there, the tape. I cannot find my McDonald's gift card, which is what I usually use to tear my tape with. And believe me, it's causing a problem. I miss it. Okay, where is... I just threw everything in my bucket here. So I'm having a hard time finding things. Okay. And if I shake you guys, I do apologize. It is not my intention. Okay. Okay. This is just a Cricut weeding tool, oops, that flies out of your hand anytime it wants to. Something I just use, it's easy, usually, to pick up the ends of tape with. And I'm not sure if you can buy it separate or not, but I know they sell the, I believe they sell the weeding set at Walmart, if you're interested. Any kind of a pointy tool will do. Okay, now, sometimes, like, normally, I hope you're not seeing my hair. It's a mess. Normally, I would use a little bit of glue stick just to make sure that I can move this if I need to. But, well, you know what I just said? I was just about to say, but I don't think I'm going to need it this time. Okay. Come on, come on. Well, maybe we can straighten it out a little bit. Where is it? There we go. That's a little warbly now. Let's see if I can straighten that out. With my bone folder. Yep, sometimes these things just happen. And I think maybe once I get everything glued down, it should be fine. Anyway, you know, mistakes happen, right? And use a glue stick. Anyway, okay, that's my top. So I'm going to turn this over this way. And now I'm going to take my box and I'm going to tape again all over my box so it will stick really well, especially now that I have warped my paper. And I am going right to the ends. Now, usually I would not if I was taping something, because sometimes some of the adhesive can stick over the edge. Oh, you know, I have a piece. Here we go. It doesn't work. But for this case, it's going to be covered all the way anyway. So it really doesn't matter if I have some glue seeping over the side or not. It's just going to get, it just help more of it adhere. That's all. Chipboard is not the best to cut tape with, but hey, it's all good. I still haven't gotten around to cleaning up my studio. Things have been crazy here. But hopefully soon I can get that done. I'd like to get it done this week, actually. See there, I went in a little bit high, and it doesn't matter if I went in too far. Okay. I also, when I'm doing something like this, I like to put tape right down where my screw lines are, just to ensure that they adhere well to the paper. So how is everyone doing this January? Can't believe it's January. Crazy. And I've been joking, and I do not mean this offensively to anyone. Oh, sorry if I'm out of frame. I'm just taping. I do not mean this offensively to anyone, but I have jokingly been calling it the Chinese year of the COVID last year. Or we're not supposed to say that word. Anyway. But just as a joke. Like I said, I don't mean offense to anyone. But I just thought it sounded funny. I couldn't think of any other way to say it, so. But anywho, you know, I also have a Facebook group, and it is Mrs. Izzy's Crafty Hangout. And I would love for you to come and join. And there's a bunch of really awesome people there. And I'd like you to share projects that you make along with me. It'd be pretty fun. Okay, and you learn a lot. There's a lot of really, like I said, really good people there. Okay. And I'm hoping this year to maybe start doing some swaps. Tell me what you guys think about that. I don't know if I would do them in the Facebook group, which probably would be easier, or through my channel. I'm honestly thinking that I'm just going to burnish down the tape so that the, sorry guys, I keep shaking you, so that the glue kind of gets into the fibers of the box as well to adhere really good. I think it would probably be better to do swaps like through the group, but let me know what you guys think and what kind of swaps you'd be interested in. So I'm anxious. I love doing swaps. They're so much fun. But I've only coordinated a couple, and they were very small. So it'll be a challenge for everybody. but let me know what you guys think. Okay. Now I'm going to be cutting a lot of this paper off, as you can tell. But I'm going to lift up, well, uncover all of my tape. Get all my backings off. I need to have a garbage can near my table here. I do not. To throw things like these backings in. Like I said, I really need to clean the studio. And sometimes the backing on this large roll of 1-inch tape I bought, sometimes it breaks. At least the tape works good. I would love to show you guys my studio when it's cleaned up. And see, there we go. And I will, if you guys would like to see it. But I will warn you, it's not one of these pretty ones, like where everything is like, wait from IKEA and we rent our home right now, because we are not sure where exactly we want to live. And we need to decide quickly because, I mean, I'm in my mid-50s and I don't like moving to begin with, and it gets harder and harder the older you get. But everything is kind of reused from other things, and a lot of my stuff are finds from Goodwill. I got an awesome entertainment center that was handmade, and I have turned that into like a craft cabinet. But I will show you guys, but like I said, don't expect to see this perfectly. Let me get rid of these pieces. This all color coordinated everything, because it's not. But hopefully when we move and get our own home, I'm hoping to have everything matchy-matchy. Okay, what I'm going to do is take this inch, and it is going to go in like the center of my spine. And I'm going to leave myself, well, a couple inches. I want it to go in good to cover. So I'm going to go right about here. And you know, if it's not exactly straight, it really doesn't matter. It's good enough. Okay. Now I'm going to cut off some of this excess paper. And again, it's not going to be straight, and it's all good. Let me at least kind of fold it where I want it to be. Let's see. Just like I said, to get some of this excess off here. Right about there. Again, sorry if my head keeps getting in the shot. I apologize if it has. I haven't looked on the monitor to see, but sometimes I have that habit of leaning over too far, because my camera's like right near my head, and it's hard to craft and not kind of like look over everything, but I'm trying. And of course, don't throw these pieces away, because they're still really good for something. Okay, let me just trim this one down a bit. Take about a half inch off. Sorry about the squeaky scissors. That is the first time that they've done that. Okay. All right. Now what I do is, and I've learned this from a few different people, take your either a stylus or your bone folder and go around, and you're kind of starting to get that paper to want to bend around the edges. And if you already know this, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to repeat this for people who may not have made an album before or covered something like an album. Okay. And working with a box is a lot different than chipboard. I mean, even though it is technically chipboard, but it's, let me start to fold this over. I do this lightly like this so that I try to avoid cracking. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And some papers have a tendency to crack more than others. So. There we go. And this edge. Okay. Okay, now we need to cut our corners out. And there is actually something for sale on Etsy, and I need to look it up. It is called, I think it's called the right angle. And you actually just put it there, and you can draw against it, and it shows you right where to cut. It's because you need to leave about 1/8 of an inch so you cover your corners. But this little tool like shows you exactly where to cut to get the perfect corners. And I keep meaning to look it up, and I keep forgetting. So if anybody knows who sells it, can you please let me know down in the comments, because I really want to get my hands on one. Okay. Okay, and I even keep these little scraps because they're good for something, even making like clusters to decorate with or things. Just, I keep all my scraps. All right. And normally I tape before I cut the corners, but I'm just like jabbering out with my jaw, and there you go. Anywho, I'm just going to again put tape, but this time I'm going to leave like just a little bit, hopefully, at the edges. That one kind of went over. No big deal. And then I'm also going to put a piece right up. Yeah, there may not be enough room for that. Let me do the outsides first and then see what size tape I need to go on the inside. To put a piece right here. Okay. And sometimes I just put it on the edge of the chipboard. And these, even though we have little hangovers here, you can just fold them up or cut them off. It's not a big deal. I'm trying to remember everything in my head and think of what I want to do next. And I'm forgetting things, but it's no big deal. I'm old and feeble-minded. No, I'm not. I need to stop joking like that, because someday somebody's going to think I'm serious and they're going to, you know, get really concerned about me. And it's just not a big deal. Okay. This I'm going to put on the edge. And these are my non-stick scissors that I showed the other day in my last video. Still haven't found the middle pair yet. There's like this, let me move these over. There is this stack of papers on my table. Out of view, because I have shoved them. But I think it's in there somewhere. Hopefully I will find it this week when I can get this place cleaned up. And once it's all organized, I will show you guys my studio. In other words, studio sounds so fancy, but it's a little more than just a craft room. So, okay. Again, I'm just burnishing the tape down so it starts to adhere really, really well. And I don't know if this is still recording because I lost my video feed on my screen there. So I'm just going to keep on going. Okay. So now I always start with my long edges first. For me, it's easier. And then I do the short edges last. So... And another thing I have a tendency of doing is I forget, and if anybody remembers this from last year, but a lot of times, even off camera, I forget to pull that piece off. The piece in here, it's not pretty. But, you know, what can you do, right? And, you know, let me just pull these off all the way. And then I have to try to pick under it to get the tape. It's funny. Yeah, since I don't have video to see what I'm doing, I'm actually just going to put the cover on and then we'll call it a day and we'll get back to it in the next video next week, next Wednesday. Wednesday. These are my days. Well, because I used to upload on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and I changed it, so I got to get used to it now. Okay, let me peel this piece off. And just like doing an album, I'm going to take just my nail and go in and just push, if I can. I have no nails. They've all broken off and they're painful. But just kind of tuck that little corner in there and then go ahead and put that down. Okay, I'm going to do the same with this side. I'm going to take my tape backing off. If I can get the tape backing off. Okay. And I'm going to just fold in my corners here. Just a little bit. It doesn't... There you go. and fold that over. Okay. Okay, now if you have used glue, let me get rid of these. If you have used glue, before you start to bend anything, if you get the urge ahead of time, do not let your glue dry completely. Or, well, look at that. The paper cracked a little bit there. There we go. Make sure you let it dry or everything is going to bubble up and it's going to look really, really bad. Okay, I am going to, let's see, figure out my spine width. Let's see. Let me get a ruler. And I'm going to go about a 1/2 inch over on the outside. So I'm going to go 2 3/4 inches. Let me get my paper trimmer again. And I'm going to have to open it up this time. Okay. Oh, excuse me. I have the sniffles. I apologize. Let's see. I'm going to go this way. Okay, so I need 2. Oh, sorry, guys. I know I really shook you that time. Okay. I need 2 3/4 inches wide. There we go. Okay, I am back. Sorry, I had a problem with my camera and everything. Anyway, I have a strip of my paper cut to 2 3/4 inches for my spine covering. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to leave it to 12 inches and I'm going to wrap it around. So I want to get some tape on here. And again, I'm just using my 1 inch. It's so I can cover the most surface quickly and easily and price effectively. Okay. I really wish I knew where that darn gift card was. It's a lot easier to tear against. Okay, let's see. Again, now I'm just avoiding the edge just a little bit so that the glue from the tape does not come over the side. I mean, if it does, you just push it back. It's not a big deal. But it's a lot easier to just try to avoid it in the first place. And I've got just another roll of tape. I'm going to fill the inside. I'm not filling it completely. I'm just going to fill it the best that I can. And again, remember, when you're taping something, do not pull the tape. It will buckle your project. Okay, there's that. And bone folder is over here. Always burnish your tape in. It just, like I said, like I it's like a broken record, this video, but it ensures the adherence of the tape to your papers. Okay. Now I am going to I'm going to try to bend this a little bit. I normally don't yet, but I want to be able to see. And this paper is a little thick, so it's kind of bulking up just a little bit here. But I want to see where my spine actually is. And again, when using actual cardstock, it's a lot easier to work with without getting bulk in corners. Like I said, though, I hope I got on before I lost my video, but if you have used glue, even my tape is buckling a little bit, but if you have used glue, make sure you let this dry completely before you try to bend anything this way, because it will bubble and bulge and end up a mess. Okay, I can kind of see where they are now. Okay, and I'm going to remove, first I'm just going to remove, okay, let's try that again. Brain and tongue, just got it yesterday. No. I'm just going to remove the middle piece and stick that part down first, just to make sure I get a good alignment. So I'm going, actually, I wonder if I do it this way. It might even be easier. Yeah. I'm just moving things all around. That's all I'm doing. Okay. Let's see. I can't tell how even it is, but I think that looks good. And now that that one is down, I can go ahead and remove my other tape backings. And press those down as well. So, did everybody get what they wanted for Christmas? Anybody get any really cool new crafting tools or anything? I actually did. I have a bookbinding machine, a Bind It All, coming actually tomorrow, which is Thursday. So I'm excited. Okay, make sure. Whoop, see that? Nice and sticky. Then I'm just going to work this over and bring that down. There we go. And that also helps those edges, but it is going to add a little more bulk just because this paper is a little bit heavier. Okay. And there we go. I can go over this a little bit more. And if you have like a brayer like this is a good use for it here. Make sure everything's down and adhered. I get this a Tuesday morning. I think it was like $5 or something. It wasn't expensive at all. But I do kind of wish I had a larger one. But all in due time, right? Okay. And then once again, I'm going to strategically start to bend my book. There we go. And like I said, there is a lot of bulk in the ends, but it's okay. It works. It works out just fine. And I do have some crinkling of my paper in it, but I'm really not concerned about it because the binding is going to go over that anyway, and you won't see it. So, just kind of give that a good press there. So, this is how our book is going to look. We just, of course, need to put in our binding and our pages, and it's going to be awesome. Okay, now I just need to line the inside. So let me see. I want about, there's my pencil. I'm not going to measure this. I'm just going to kind of mark it to see. Okay, let me get my paper trimmer again. Ugh. Okay. Eventually, for regular use, I want to keep my paper trimmer just on one side of my work table. I'm just going to see if I have my little pencil marks here. Okay. And once again, I'm just going to tape and lay my liner down. And one of these days, I will learn how to fast forward the video so you guys don't have to sit here and watch this. Although I may just cut some of this out. We'll see. Because I know this has to be boring for you guys. But like I said again, I'm just going to go around and just put a good amount of tape on here so it holds very well. And you can also just tape the edges in like a few places, and then you can go ahead and glue. I mean, it's not, you can mix adhesives, it doesn't really matter. Whatever you prefer is what you do. And don't let people tell you the way you're doing things are right or wrong. Whatever works for you is what's right. And if I'm out of thing, I'm sorry if I'm out of the shot here. But everybody has their own way of doing things. And I adopt different ways from seeing different people do things. I mean, we all do. But whatever way is the most comfortable for you, or even if you mix ways of doing things together to come up with your own way, it's perfect because it's the one that works best for you. And don't let anyone tell you differently. Oops. Oops again. I used to take it to heart when I'd hear people say, like, well, this is the right way to do it. This is, but it's like, but that way doesn't work for me. So that is why I have adopted the whatever works for you is the best way attitude. And again, I keep going out of frame, and I am sorry about that. And if you guys hear my breathing, that sounds kind of labored. I am not having a breathing issue. I am having a pain issue today. And when I hurt really bad, it's sometimes hard to breathe. And that's what's happening right now. So that is why I'm going to end this right after I put this liner on. That will be the end of today's video. And we will pick up next Wednesday and finish our project. Okay, let me put these away before I don't want to misplace anything. I'm trying to be neater this year. We'll see about that. But I'm going to need to go and sit down for a while. So plus it'll make a shorter video for you guys so you don't, dagnabbit, so you don't get bored. Like video overload. I had seen one, oh my goodness, I saw one video once, and it was like a 4-hour video. It's like, I can't sit here for 4 hours and watch, to do a tutorial. That, wow. I think it took, I forget how many days it took me to get through it. A little bit here, a little bit there. I was like, that's insane, and that is something I promise you guys I will never do. It may be over an hour, depending on the project, but I promise, I'm going on record saying I promise that I will never do like a 2, 3, 4 hour video. Unless it's live and we're doing some kind of a workshop or something, because those are things I'm thinking of. Maybe not for this year, possibly next year. Then they would be longer. But I promise you a normal tutorial will never be that long, because that's just cray-cray. That piece, last piece. Ooh. I always hate getting the last piece because everything is so sticky. You have like nowhere to put your hand, or it's not going to stick. Okay. Let's push that tape down a little bit. This is where you need to be a little careful. And it's easier if you can get up over your project. But you need to try, and you can glue stick. I'll take a lot of glue stick for this. But just try to set everything down nice and even, or as even as you can get it, for your liner. And I use cardstock. I should have actually printed this out on just regular copy paper, even heavyweight copy paper, but I decided to just use cardstock because that's what was in my printer. Let me get my brayer, that'll help again. And that would have helped with some of the bulk. Just trying to get that down really, really well. Okay. And one last time of cutting in those corners carefully. And they are not cracking, but they're bubbling just because I have so much there. Like I said, I'll be able to straighten, flatten them out a bit. And then our binding is going to go over that, so it will help. But you can see even I can't, it's just really, really thick right there. So, but these, like I said, I'll be able to flatten them down. And you won't even see it. All right. Well, the only other thing that you can do is while we're waiting for the next video, you can take some kind of a clip, kind of get it lined up and clip it closed. So you start to train your book to actually close. Otherwise they whoop and they fly open. But let me get rid of this. See, cleaning up. This is a new thing for me because I am a messy crafter. Anyway, that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you guys, we will finish this next Wednesday. And I'll see you guys Friday. In 2 days, we are going to start on our year-long album series. So, see you then. Have a good one, guys. Bye.